The Pitt is a raider-dominated city built in the ruins of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and was established in the aftermath of the Great War by local gangs. This state of affair persisted for over 100 years until 2255, when an expeditionary force of the Brotherhood still, led by then paladin Owyn Lyons, arrived at the outskirts of the Pitt on their journey to the Capital Wasteland. After reconning the ruins, Lyons ordered an attack on the city. More of a massacre than a military action, Brotherhood soldiers entered the city from Mount Wash and in a single night slaughtered half the city's population, sparing only those who surrendered immediately. This operation would come to be known as the Scourge. The Brotherhood took 21 healthy children away from the city and trained them as their own soldiers. From the Brotherhood, there was a single casualty, Initiate Ishmael Asher, believed to be dead after a building collapsed. The Scourge succeeded in claiming the city and clearing it of its most violent inhabitants, but it also left a power vacuum in the city. However, Asher survived the building collapse during the Scourge. While his power armor protected him from death in the accident, he sustained severe injuries that left him comatose for several days. When he was finally awoken, it was by a woman who had survived the purge attempting to pry off his power armor. After questioning the scavenger, Asher realized that the building was not only a steel mill, but an operational one. As the Brotherhood never seen such a facility before, Asher recruited the scavengers, many of whom had come to see him as a god due to his miraculous survival and imposing power armor, and resolved to restore the Pit to its former glory. The city grew rapidly under Lord Asher, who pressed local gangs into his army and enslaved those too weak to fight as laborers. With the steel mill operational, the Pit began producing goods which Asher traded for supplies and healthy slaves from the outside. The TDC and the toxic environment precluded natural population growth, so Asher resolved to aggressively recruiting raiders and importing slaves while making extensive use of boons, propaganda, and intimidation to keep the population pacified. To entertain and distract the people, he founded the Whole, a gladiator arena where slaves could fight to earn their freedom. Asher considered this brutal approach to governance to be a necessary evil until a solution for the Trog plague could be found. Progress was slow until Asher's wife and chief scientist Sandra gave birth to their daughter Marie, who was completely immune to the TDC and the other atrocities of the Pit. Her immunity, if replaced, could turn a struggling autocracy into a prosperous regional empire. However, not everyone fell in line. Werner, one of Asher's lieutenants, attempted a coup against Asher few years before 2277 but failed. For this treason, Asher had him sent down to the foundry as a slave with an explosive collar around his neck. Ever resentful, Werner began planning a secondary takeover, working with Midea to organize a slave revolt. He needed outside help and eventually disabled his collar and fled to the Capital Wasteland. Setting up a broadcast to try to get assistance with his plan, Werner eventually attracted the Lone Wanderer. Together, they infiltrated the city.